For 20 years, we've been asking the same question. Where is Half-Life 3? The biggest mystery in gaming history, the longest wait, and the most conspiracy-filled silence. Why did Valve quietly shelf such a powerful franchise for so long? Why did the world's most anticipated game simply vanish? Today's announcement of the Steam Frame puts the answer right in front of us for the first time. Because this device is not just a VR headset. It is the clearest sign yet of why Half-Life 3 hasn't been released, how it will return, and what Valve has truly been building. As it turns out, Valve wasn't delaying a game. They were preparing an ecosystem, a platform, their own metaverse. Everything began in 2020 with Half-Life Alyx. We thought it was a story-bridging side game, something to keep the universe alive until the real sequel arrived. But Alyx was actually one of Valve's biggest experiments. It was the practical answer to a single question. What does it feel like to live inside the Half-Life universe? It was a full-scale test of VR technology, players' readiness, and the possibility of experiencing this world from within. The results became one of VR's greatest successes. Alyx wasn't just a game. It was a revolution that redefined VR standards and sent a message. Half-Life is no longer just something you play on a monitor. That was exactly Valve's purpose, to ask players, are you ready to live inside this universe? The answer was clear. Yes, we were. If Alyx was this successful, why didn't Valve announce Half-Life 3 immediately? Because Valve understood one simple but critical truth. A legend cannot be reborn on someone else's platform. In a VR market dominated by MetaQuest, releasing Half-Life 3 under Meta's ecosystem was impossible. The Valve Index existed, yes, but it was expensive, wired, and not mass market friendly. The hardware required to make Half-Life 3 a true VR revolution simply didn't exist yet. So Valve wasn't waiting for a story, an engine, or a team. They were waiting for their own hardware, their own console, because the power of Half-Life 3 could only be fully realized on the platform built specifically for it. Before you leave the video, please like it and subscribe. I really need your support. Thank you so much. Let's continue with my video. And now, the long missing piece has finally appeared, the Steam Frame. At first glance, it may look like just another VR headset, but this device sits at the center of Valve's quietly orchestrated long-term plan. Steam Frame is a standalone Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 powered VR device, meaning it can run games on its own, just like a Quest. It can stream high-fidelity VR from a PC via 6 GHz almost losslessly. And with SteamOS plus Android support, it runs its own ecosystem, while also tapping into existing VR libraries. This is hardware plus software plus store coming together for the first time. Valve hasn't built a VR headset, they've built a VR console. And Steam Frame looks so perfectly aligned with Half-Life 3 because it likely was designed for it. Valve's move is a perfectly calculated two-part strategy. The first part is hardware. There are millions of Half-Life fans worldwide, and Valve knows that the moment it says Half-Life 3 is here and Steam Frame is the best place to experience it, device sales will skyrocket. Half-Life 3 could become the new system seller, just like Halo elevated the Xbox. The second part is the ecosystem. Once players enter the Steam Frame environment, they stay there. The Steam Store, VR library, Android games, and SteamOS native experiences all become part of Valve's own metaverse. While Meta attempts to build a social-centered metaverse, Valve is building one powered by games, universes, and immersive content. Gaming is their language and their strongest weapon. Now the picture is clearer than ever. Half-Life 3 wasn't delayed, it was being prepared. Valve wasn't just developing a game, they were constructing a future.
their own platform, their own hardware, their own universe. If Steam Frame is the doorway to that universe, then Half-Life 3 is the key that will unlock it. Today's announcement wasn't just about a new VR device, it was the unveiling of the real reason behind 20 years of silence. Valve has finally shown that they are ready. And in this story, the countdown has begun.